Hello, my name is Andy and I am the village idiot. I'm on with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. Welcome this morning, and it's very early in the morning, to a small village just to the south of Saxilby in West Lindsey. This is a very interesting one despite its very small size. It's got a strange shape. It used to be a part of Nottinghamshire and not Lincolnshire, and there's a rather gruesome tale to tell at the very end of it. Let's get started with the parish of Broadholme. So that's pretty much it for the main road, School Lane, which runs through the village. Now, there are a couple of other things we need to see in Broadholme, and one of those is Occupation Lane, which means walking back the way we came along School Lane, and there's a junction we need to take a turn to the right and head up there. There's some more properties and farms and things along that road. So right next to the parish notice board you will find a map, and it's brilliant because it shows all of Broadholme civil parish. This is fantastic. So let's take a look at it. We are here where the little red marker is, and we've just walked up School Lane, which is this road here. We're on Manor Lane at the moment. I'm going to be heading down there to Occupation Lane, and that's as far as I'm going to walk. But as this notice board says, this is Broadholme Parish Paths, and there are a few walks you can do in this area here, but I'm not going to have time this morning to cover anything like that, so I'm just going to basically stick to this road. And when we finish with that, I'm going to come out here to Tom Otter's Lane. This is interesting because Broadholme is basically this area here, but Tom Otter's Lane, just the road itself, belongs to Broadholme. This bit here, Saxilby Moor, that belongs to Saxilby. It's a weird thing. If you look at the parish map, this bit sort of comes down and belongs to Saxilby. And the reason we're ending at Tom Otter's Lane is because here there's a nice story as to why Tom Otter's Lane is so important. There's a nice little, well, it's not nice thinking about it, but there is a nice story which I will let you in on when we get to Tom Otter's Lane at the end. But first, let's walk down Manor Lane towards Occupation. So save for a couple of isolated farm buildings, that's pretty much Occupation Lane in its entirety. Now I feel like before I move on I should address why I'm calling this place Broadholme and not Broadholme. It's a Lincolnshire thing. I've always known it to be called Broadholme, living here of course in Saxilby, not too far away, and most people that I know around here have always called it Broadholme. I'm not quite sure why, but it's obviously a Lincolnshire thing that's kind of stuck, I think, and so I always call it Broadholme still, even now, even though it's spelt Broadholme. Now, I don't know where the actual spot would have been where Tom Otter would have been hung and gibbeted, but I would imagine it's somewhere here, because opposite here is a farm called Gibbet Farm, so I would imagine it's somewhere close to this spot right here. I'm not totally sure, but it was along this lane somewhere where Tom Otter was hung and gibbeted. And that's pretty much it for the parish of Broadholme. All I've got to do now is walk back up Tom Otter's lane, and as you can see, there's no footpath, so it is a case of walking along the road. But there you go. That's the very small parish of Broadholme. Used to be in Nottinghamshire, and by the way, Nottinghamshire is the other side of this road. Behind that hedge, that's the boundary with Nottinghamshire, and on this side, of course, is Saxilby Moor. Excellent. Time for me to move on. This has been the parish of Broadholme, and I've been the village idiot, and I'm out.